Hi guys, this is Aska and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is my first time posting a video on YouTube. So I hope you guys can like, share, subscribe and share it with your friends and family because I'm super nervous while recording this. So it will just be great if y'all can show me a little bit of support. But here we go. So as y'all know me from Instagram, I have been creating content over the past 1 year, and if y'all have been following me, y'all know my entire journey from CA to ACCA to pursuing a master's degree abroad. And I'm going to lead you through all of this that I've been through in the past 1 year. So it was very difficult for me to decide what I want to do next because I was always interested into finance and accounts. But I decided to change my perspective a little bit and focus on the business side as well, because of which I decided that I want to pursue a master's degree from the UK. So I had been to London when I was like 10 years old. I'd been thrice, okay, and I fell in love with the city. Now, the catch is, I got into a lot of universities in the UK, uh, including the University of Manchester, Regents, and a couple more. Although I did not get into one that I really wanted to get in, but yeah, I think I have good backups. So I did not consult any counselor. Many people told me that you will need a counselor. Why are you doing everything on your own? Just don't take the risk. Consult somebody to help you. But I just believe in myself, and I was just like, it is my application. It is about me. It is about my life. I have to write the SOVs on my own life. So, who better than me would be able to write it? So, I decided not to go with the whole counselor thing. I did not take any external help from sources. It was only like me, my laptop, ChatGPT, of course, Google, and like one or two friends that I told about this to them. So, yeah, some of my friends helped me through it, but that was it. I even spoke to a couple of seniors who had applied before me, who were in universities in the UK, who had studied in the UK, and they helped me a lot. So, in this video, you will see how to prepare your personal statements, CV, how to back your references, how to prep for your interview, and how to go about by this whole process. So, let's begin. Okay, so the first step in your application is just like your details. Okay, so like you put your personal details, your address, contact details, email address, all of that. So that's pretty simple. That's no brainer. Then the second part comes, which is your CV. So here's when you have to actually use a lot of your brains. You have to make them want you in the university. So I'm just gonna show you my CV, and I'm gonna show you a couple of things that I did, a couple of mistakes that I made that I don't want y'all to make. Okay, so first of all, your CV has to be a one pager only. You cannot exceed one page. A lot of universities even mention this in their requirements that your CV has to be one page. I know that you might want to fill in a lot of details inside your CV. You might want to show them how capable you are, what are your soft skills, what are the skills that you have, what professional experience that you have. But trust me, it does not matter. I mean, your CV matters obviously, but it's supposed to be short and sweet. Okay, so it has to be one pager. So you always start with like your name as the header. Then you put in like probably your LinkedIn profile link if you have one. I had put it, and I think it helps a lot because it helps the people uh know you better through your LinkedIn. Okay, then the first section in the CV always has to be education. So you have to start with the most recent to the oldest. Okay, so like you go about, for example, uh, your college education, or if you are studying for a professional degree, if you already have a professional degree, then you mention that and the institute that you get the degree from, right? You mention your college degree, and then you come to school, and then you mention your school degrees. Okay, this is supposed to be around like probably one third of the page, so you fill it that way. Okay, and then you have to mention your professional experience. Now it depends from person to person. Obviously, I had two internships, so I mentioned both of my internships and like my role in the company, as well as like obviously what I did, what I learned, all of that. But it's supposed to be like 2 lines, 2 to 3 lines each. And one very important thing is you have to mention the start date and the end date. I made this mistake when I first submitted my application in one of the universities, I just mentioned like the years. I forgot to mention the months, but they told me to mention the specific date, not just the month, but the date that when I joined. So you will probably get this from your employers, so you can do that. Um, with that, if you have founded something of your own, if you've like done something of your own, so I had founded a marketing agency called the Scroll Theory, so I obviously mentioned that on my CV as well, in the professional experience section. Okay, then comes your key achievements. Now, over here, you have to brag about yourself. Okay, I'm not even kidding. Like, for example, for me, so one of my key achievements is I published 3 books in a span of 6 months. So, that is something to brag about, right? So like, I made a section in the key achievements, especially for my books. So, I wrote that. Then, I obviously, there was the scroll theory, founded my own agency at the age of 20. So I wrote that. And yeah, like, if you worked somewhere, so this is my shortcut. Okay, so like, if you've interned somewhere, how did you help them? Okay, if you think that you've made a difference over there, what? So you mentioned that in your key achievements as well. For example, I wrote that revitalize the digital marketing strategy of family jewelry business, resulting in higher customer engagement and new client inquiries within 3 months. Okay, so here the catch is you have to be really real. It's your CV, it's your resume. You have to just be real. Don't fake anything. But I mean, you can hype it up a little bit. That is completely okay. And yeah, then you just put an additional information section where you put in like your extracurriculars, your hobbies, soft skills, all of that if you want to put it. If you have space, I had it, so I just put it. So that is about your CV. Okay. Now, the next important part is your personal statement. Here is where people fear the most, and people think that they can just like copy paste it from Chat GPT and submit it, and it'll look all fancy and nice, and people are gonna like it. But that is not the truth. Let's be very real. The universities want to know you. They want to know everything about you in the personal statement, and the personal statement is actually a way of communicating to the university. A lot of universities have questions that you need to answer as your personal statement. Okay, so probably your first question is going to be why choose this university, why choose XYZ university, right? So my personal statement, this came from my friend actually. It was his idea to begin it with a rhetorical question. So you begin your personal statement with a rhetorical question that I wrote that why would a girl who has never lived alone decide to do so in a completely unknown city? So, the university that I wanted to apply to is the answer to this question for me. I was 10 years old when I visited London for the first time, and I was in love with the culture, diversity, innovation, and how this place made room for everyone. This is exactly what the university is for me. It welcomes people from across the globe without discrimination. Being located in the heart of London, it makes it even more attractive to me, especially because I always knew where my heart belonged, and it was exactly here. Okay. So, you have to sort of read the university's guidelines to write a personal statement. You have to read other people's personal statements as well. If the university wants you to be authentic, real, raw, then you start with something like that. Or, for example, if you want to make a completely professional personal statement, then obviously it's a different story. You just start on to the point that why this university or why do you want to do this degree. So yeah, but obviously the university that I chose wanted it to be raw. I mean, I read it in their guidelines. So yeah, then I come from a Jain community, so I thought that it would be great if they want to know me, they need to know me completely, right? So I have to tell them that I'm a Jain without telling them that I'm a Jain. Okay, so I just had to tell them that I have inherited principles that are foundation of the person that I am. Principles like ahimsa, honesty, integrity, respect for all cultures, righteousness are considered to be basic as a gen, even in humanity. The thing is, I read the university's, the values, culture, and all of that, and these values that I mentioned were written over there. So I thought, why not twist it and add it into my personal statement in some way or the other to make it look authentic, right? So my mom used to say this to me when I was young. Always write your essays in an ornamental language. That's what she used to call it. So I'm gonna repeat it. Make your essay ornamental. Like they should fall in love with you just by reading your personal statement because that is you, right? So yeah, obviously a lot of universities want you to display skills like leadership, sportsmanship, teamwork, and all of that. Okay, so you have to include a paragraph somewhere in your personal statement where you displayed such qualities in you. It could be anything. It could be if you if you were a captain in school, if you were an important head in some community in college, if you've done some event, hosted some event, or if you have a cult, you can write all of that, right? So I mentioned that too. Then you have to mention your communication skills, obviously, because they want you to have good communication skills. They want you to be able to communicate with diverse people because obviously, if when you go abroad, you're not gonna meet people from your nation. There are gonna be a lot from worldwide. So yeah, so I had written something like that. Okay, I'm just gonna read that paragraph. Okay, I know that if I get a chance to study at XYZ, I will be able to contribute really well in group projects, and I want to be able to meet new people from diverse backgrounds and improve on my communication skills. Okay, so I wrote that. Then you mentioned your extracurriculars. So I was a state level chess player, so I mentioned that as well. You hype everything up. Like for example, scroll theory. Most importantly, the degree that I wanted was masters in management. Is my chosen program because I always dreamt of having a business of my own, which I have started by the name of the Scroll Theory, a marketing agency. But I wanted to grow it globally and be at the top. I have a vision to make my brand successful and launch more and more campaigns, and that is what makes this program even more important to me. So you mentioned why do you want to do this particular program at this particular university? And yeah, I think that is your personal statement. Then I had a second question. Okay, so like my next question was what are my career plans after graduating? Right. So you just have to say that what are you doing currently? Like I'm studying in whatever college, whatever course right now, and I wish to do this particular degree in the future in your university. And why do I want to do that? Again, in one or two lines, you just mentioned that. And so you explain your vision. So, like, my vision is to apply the knowledge and skills gained to expand the scroll theory, my marketing initiative, into a global agency known for innovation and creativity. Alongside, I plan to work as a consultant for a year to gain a real world corporate exposure, step out of my comfort zone, and refine my problem solving and analytical abilities. I also intend to grow my social media presence using it as a platform to stay relevant and connect with a wider audience. So, if you have a social media presence on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn or anywhere as such, you can mention that. Obviously, you can, if you have a good audience, you can mention that as well. Some universities really do care about numbers, so if you have a good number, please mention it. Okay, and yeah, and then you just write a good closing paragraph. So my closing paragraph went like this. I believe constant learning is the key to staying grounded and adaptable, no matter how challenging circumstances may be. My ambition is not just to achieve personal success, but also to create sustainable opportunities and growth in the business that I lead. The Masters in Management is the perfect fit for me as it will help me sharpen my managerial, analytical, and technical skills, preparing me to make a meaningful impact in both cooperative and in entrepreneurial worlds. So this was my personal statement. Obviously, yours is gonna be very different, but this is just an idea of what it has to be, what it needs to be, all of that. Now, the third most important part is your transcripts, certificates, and all of that. So you can just submit all of your mark sheets of college, of school, like like if you have a degree certificate, obviously that. Then you can submit like your 10th standard, 12th standard mark sheets, and if you have a letter of recommendation from your institution, then well and good, please submit it. I had it, I submitted it, and yeah, the next important part is your references. Okay, so in most universities, they require like one academic and one professional referees. Okay, but make sure that they have your back like anything because these universities are gonna mail them as soon as you submit their email IDs to them, and they are going to ask for your reference to them. So make sure that they know you really well inside and out and they can back you up with this. So they just have to like submit a Word document referring you to the university. So a lot of decisions are made on the references as well. Now, one of the universities that I applied to required me to sit for an interview. So it was a Kira interview, right? So how do you give this interview? So it is a really funny story. My interview did not go really, like, it did not go as well as I thought it would be, but it was decent. So what did I do? I cannot reveal the questions exactly, but I'm just gonna say what kind of questions do they ask you. So obviously, the first two questions are just common questions that tell us about you, or like why do you want to come into this university, why this course. So you go on about like, my name is Aska. My name is Aska. I want to study this course in this university because but appeals to me, like the group projects, or like I read about this online, my friends are doing this, I want to do this in my future, which is this aligns with my goals perfectly. You write all of that, and when you're sitting for the interview, please make sure that you're wearing like good formal clothes and put up a blazer if you have one. Keep your For girls, keep your hair tied. All of that they don't mention it, but I think it's a plus point to do so. So next point is we were talking about the interview. I'm sorry. The next questions are just going to be like random questions out of nowhere. Okay, so like they're going to be like, if you could invent a food item today, what would it be and why? And you have to think on the spot. They give you 5 seconds to think and you have to answer. Okay, and like you'll have 1 or 2 minutes to answer that question with a ticking time bomb. So that is really difficult. I was also very scared, very honestly. But you'll go get past it. Don't worry. Now, the last part of this process is a written assessment. They again give you a small question that you need to answer on the spot. It is just like your personal statement, but it is just on the spot. Like it is an interview, but on the spot, you have to write it. Like you get 10 minutes to write it, and then you're done. So yeah, this is the entire application process. If you guys have any doubts, y'all can comment below, and I'm gonna be able to help you. Thank you so much. See y'all in the next YouTube video very soon. Bye.